Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Entrepreneur, and we're going to talk about a company that we normally don't talk about on this channel, but we're going to today for a couple of very specific reasons. One, mobile apps are at the center of this whole controversy with McDonald's, and as the entrepreneur, I have to report on that. How can I not? The other reason we're talking about it is because I've been getting a lot of comments from people saying, oh, give up on ride sharing. It's such a waste of money. Flip burgers. You'll make more money. It's easier. And according to this article by the LA Times, it actually is not easier. In fact, the job is getting incredibly hard and stressful, which seems to defeat the whole purpose of a beginner minimum wage job that's meant to just be a starting position for kids, now stressing out full grown adults. So, what am I talking about here? Well, according to this article by the Los Angeles Times, McDonald's workers are quitting as mobile app orders and new offerings create chaos. This is a very fascinating read. For Dudley Dickerson, the mobile app orders were the last straw. McDonald's Corporation had been updating with new technology, delivery, a revamped menu, and curbside pickup. But the chain's experience of the future effort could backfire. Employees are handling more tasks, in many cases, they say, without pay raises or adequate staffing, so Dickerson, 23, handed in his spatula. Now, let's talk about this real quick, because one of the reasons McDonald's has always been a minimum wage paying company and rarely, if ever, gives raises, is because it is specifically designed to be easy, regardless who you are. So you have a couple people flipping the patties. You have a couple people putting the ketchup and the pickles on. Then you have one person bagging the burgers. Then you have the next person handing it out, and you have someone on the cashier. It was called the speedy service, and it was meant to be fast and efficient and basically easy, because if someone decided to quit, you were just training someone to do one specific task, just one task. So it made you very easy to be replaced. And McDonald's has thrived on that system for a very, very long time. And now that appears to not be the case. So continuing, they added a lot of complicated things, Dickerson said. It makes it harder for the workers. A lot of fast food employees hop from job to job, but with unemployment so low, turnover is becoming a problem. Workers are walking away rather than dealing with new technology and menu options. The result? Customers will wait longer. Already, drive-through times at McDonald's slowed to 239 seconds last year, more than 30 seconds longer than in 2016, according to QSR magazine. It's also pokier than Burger King, Wendy's, and Taco Bell. And I have to admit, as someone who kind of got into the whole Szechuan sauce craze recently, and I will not apologize for that, I also didn't riot like most Rick and Morty fans, so I can claim the moral high ground. But yeah, the drive-through McDonald's has become like a real pain. Like, it's super long now. It's not quick at all. And it's, in some cases, it's kind of like In-N-Out Burger, where it's like, don't do the drive-through if you're in a hurry. You're going to get stuck in it. Industry's 150% turnover. Turnover at U.S. fast food restaurants jumped to 150%, meaning a store employing 20 workers would go through 30 in 1 year. That figure is the highest since industry tracker People Report began collecting data in 1995. Quote, quick service restaurants are having a little more trouble with job openings and finding workers, said Michael Harms, executive director of operations at People Report. It's the pace of work, the pace of technology, and the lower wage rate. Hence why these jobs typically went to teenagers, or, like 16-year-olds who they don't have any other experience. They're just trying to get anything on the resume and maybe get a few bucks so that they can take the girl out to a movie at some point. McDonald's and its franchises haven't seen an increase in crew turnover over the last year, nor is there a correlation between the new initiatives and turnover, spokesperson Terry Hickey said in an emailed statement. Quote, together with our owner-operators, we are investing in all necessary training to ensure successful implementation of any changes in our restaurants. Just as Experience of the Future modernizes the restaurant experience for our customers, there's also focus on improving the work experience for restaurant employees. I wonder if that's going to be true. Let's continue. New initiatives. McDonald's chief executive Steve Easterbrook has been pushing initiatives that have helped turn around comparable sales, which rose 3.6% last year in the U.S. But they've also made it tougher to retain restaurant employees in an already tight labor market. Quote, the ball is really in the court of the workers, not the employees. Last year, McDonald's said it employed 235,000 people, including corporate and restaurant workers. Each of those people generated $97,000 in revenue, compared with about $65,000 the year before. While this could be a sign of increased efficiency, it can just as well be seen as stretching thin an inadequate number of employees. More stress. Yeah, so I can't comment on those numbers, to be quite frank, but let's continue. More stress. In Broward County, Florida, Wesley Williams said he's switching to a job at burger joint Checkers after being stretched too thin at McDonald's. Williams, 42, said he's quitting because of the chaos caused by mobile app orders, new items, and 6 recently added self-order kiosks, which, by the way, those kiosks are meant to replace some of these employees. And if the employees are having a hard time with the kiosks, what chance does the customers have for a good, fast experience at McDonald's if the employees can't even figure these stupid things out? It's more stressful now, said Williams, who added that he didn't get a raise for doing more work. Definitely a problem. When we mess up a little bit because we're getting used to something new, we get yelled at. Not an efficient way to get your employees in line. On a recent Wednesday afternoon, about 10 McDonald's workers hustled behind the counter of a store in Chicago Loop. They called out order numbers for those waiting for lunch. Some had ordered via an in-store kiosk, some from the mobile app, and some the old-fashioned way at the register. And you can see why that's a real problem, because, yeah, before there was like 2 places you go, the register or the drive-thru. It wasn't complicated, but now I got to figure out who's the kiosk, because the kiosk people take one of those little numbers and they put them on your table and they wait for the food to be delivered. That's more work for the employee. It's also less efficient. Some people order on the app and they sit in the parking lot outside. That's more work for the employee. It's less efficient. Everything McDonald's is doing is less efficient. And right now, efficiency, aside from the Szechuan sauce, is really one of the only things they have going for them right now. An order of a bacon McDouble, small fries, and an apple juice took about 2.5 minutes, faster than the average drive-thru time, but the drink was missing and the employees seemed confused when asked for it. There shouldn't be that kind of confusion. It's just a drink. The biggest risk when you have a lot of employee turnover is the customer experience. If that starts to wane, then this turns into a bigger problem. So you see, folks, even corporations with billions of dollars coming in and many, many chains, if they don't take care of their employees to a certain extent, the customer experience suffers, which is what I've been harping about with Uber for all this time. See, even McDonald's, they are not immune to this. At another restaurant in Chicago, the same day, McDonald's staff rushed to keep up with the dinner crowd. Cars lined up at the drive-thru and curbside pickup spots were full. A mobile app order for fries, an Egg McMuffin, and McFlurry for curbside pickup took just over 5 minutes. Missing from the bag, ketchup. And by the way, as a side note, if you want to read an amazing blog post about ketchup, I know he's not super popular with a lot of people, but Matt Walsh actually did a very interesting blog about ketchup that was really awesome in my opinion. So anyway, that's pretty much the article in a nutshell. And it's kind of interesting to look at this because all these things have been introduced to revolutionize McDonald's. It's like, oh, more options. It's supposed to make things more convenient. And with those kiosks, maybe we can get rid of some of the employees and save some money. And yet, it's doing the exact opposite. Things are less efficient. People are getting more frustrated. And it's really not revolutionized anything in a positive way. It's revolutionized the store in the fact that McDonald's is no longer someplace you go in, you get your food, and you leave. Now you're, debating over, well, is this the dine-in order, or is this even my order? Where's the ketchup? And employees are starting to quit because it's like, yeah, we had one job, or maybe 2 at most. Now I got 5 or 6. So that's the thing. Always asking the employees to do more work for less money never works out in the long run. Heck, even ask former Circuit City employees when they used to make commission, and Circuit City was like a great place to work. It was a great place to shop. You could get all your stuff and you would not be sold something you don't need. Well, Circuit City decided, hey, we want to save some money, so we're going to, cut the employees' pay. Where's Circuit City now? Like, I think there's one out there, but I sure as heck don't know where it is. So, anyway, this isn't necessarily going to affect the entrepreneurs who watch my videos. So, I'm kind of just having a little bit of fun. Again, it's funny to think that as revolutionary as apps have been to make my life better, they've probably made your life better too. They have seriously screwed up in other ways, and McDonald's is one of the cases where having an app-based mobile system was probably not the best idea in the world. It should also be noted, to my knowledge, Burger King, Jack in the Box, Wendy's, Taco Bell, Chipotle, none of these companies do a mobile app thing. If they want to deliver the food, they partner with DoorDash or Postmates or Grubhub. It also should be noted that McDonald's has partnered with Uber Eats. There's a little bit of irony there, I acknowledge. But anyway, what do you folks think? Are there any McDonald's employees who work here who want to comment on this? I would love to know what you think about it. So leave the comments below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy the videos I make, consider becoming a patron member for $1 a month. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.